Hello, everybody. It is me, Demetra K, and I'm sitting here with Donovan, the recovering Democrat Sadiq, also known as the Black Yul Brenner. I should say at the top that the purpose of the Demetra K show is to promote Black love, knowledge, and understanding of all things that go on in the Black community to make us an even better people with the emphasis on even, because we're great people, but we can always strive to do better. Like I said, Big Giant, thank you. Hello, and welcome to YouTube and Facebook. You are the other side of the conversation. Also, thank you so much to my wonderful moderators for all that you do in holding down the comment section. Today, we're going to be talking about Black Panther Party leader that's fighting ICE exposed as a fraud. Now, of course, if you've been paying attention to my channel, and Brother Phil also covered it. I talked about it, I think, a couple days ago, where, they've kind of come onto the scene at the ICE protest, basically in Philadelphia, I guess it is. And it's caused quite the conversation. So if you haven't seen that video when we're done here, go check that out on my channel. But so, yeah, we're going to be talking about all of that. Donovan, what say you in the meantime?
What say me in the meantime? I say it's 3 p.m. here in Southern California. That means it's Demetra K time. Those guys that are wondering, the Patriots are up 28. Houston is down 16. So it looks like in the fourth quarter, it looks like the Patriots are going to go on into the championship game. Rams tonight versus the Bears. So that'll be the other game. But do us a favor. You guys keep these wonderful conversations going. There's ways you guys want to contribute. You guys can do that at the bottom. We have a scrolling banner down there. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, cash, money order, however you guys want to do it. It's going to be a very, very interesting year. A lot of stuff is coming down the pipe. And you guys, I want you guys to think about this. Donald Trump has said he is going to withhold funding to sanctuary cities. Now, where do a lot of our people live? In the major cities, right? So because your leaders want to protect people that should not be here and want to house them and stuff, you're going to suffer. That's what it comes down to. So that's another story. I just want you guys to be aware of that. But to keep on top of this, please do us a favor and download the African Diaspora News Channel app. You can get it on Google Play, Apple Store, and there you can find all kinds of great videos from Demetra K, Brother Phil Scott, Vicki Dillard, Wongale, and a whole host of other contributors that actually go on there. The best price to get is the lifetime membership, and you can go on YouTube and sign right up. It's a great gift. There's nothing better than the gift of knowledge. But this is going to be interesting here in regards to, I believe this young man is in Chicago. Black Panthers. Is it this the Chicago Black Panthers? Okay, well. Oh, Philadelphia. Okay, another sanctuary city. So we're going to see everybody's grifting. I don't know what is going on, but let's get into it. Let's talk about it.
Absolutely. So let's see. I'm gonna say hello to everybody. Lynette, how you doing? And Mary, baby, I hope I said that right. Let's see. And I said hello to everybody else so far. Mad Dog Arneva, how you doing? Brother Thunder, Easy E in the building. Steven, how you doing? Tell your wife we said hello. And Brother James, how you doing? Hope that you were doing well. Naima, what's going on with you? And Brood, how you doing? Says from the minute Go. It says from the minute go. I think he says smell like a fake hero. But he's an agent. I don't know. It remains to be seen, right? Bernard, what's going on with you? JBWR, hope you're doing well. Alicia, what is up with you? T. Austin, how you doing? And Zane, or Jeanne, is it? How you doing? All right, so let's go ahead and get into it for the sake of time. All right, so as you guys may or may not know, I'd say I've been seeing this story for maybe the last week or so in regards to the Black Panther Party in Philly getting active. Now, they've been active from what I've been reading and researching. They've been active for a while, just kind of doing the things that normal Black Panther Party members do, feeding the community and things like that. But this particular Black Panther Party chapter from Philadelphia came in, I guess, the focal point of everybody due to the ICE raids that's going on. Of course, in Minnesota, y'all know that's a hotbed. There's a lot of agents there. Originally, it was 2,000. Now it seems like there's even more agents and Border Patrol people there trying to wrangle up, if you will, illegal immigrants. And of course, y'all know infamously that's where Renee Good, the white woman, was pew-pewed in her face and all of that. And so we have been seeing this particular video, and I edited it because there was some things in there that I don't want to get in trouble for him saying. But what you're going to see is chairman. This is what he goes by, Chairman Professor Birdsong. This is the video that had went viral, right? It was all over the place, and people had mixed feelings about it. So here we go.
Me, I guarantee you they won't. I'll put in their chest the size of a window. Safe line repair, safe line replace. That's what's gonna happen. They touch me. Unarmed women was by ICE. If you think you're about to come and brutalize the people while we're standing here, around and find out. Our interactions with the police and ICE, and we hold them accountable. We hold them accountable. We patrol the community and we hold them accountable. The Black Panther Party for Self-Defense, we're the same Panther Party from back in the day, but we're a little more aggressive now, you dig? Carry big guns and we don't take no places where there are a lot of immigrants at. I think that the community around them needs to take special care to them, and it needs to start escorting them to and from everywhere to make sure that they're safe. Because them ICE agents ain't gonna act like that if it's a bunch of people standing outside with assault shot. It's a semi-automatic. That means them shot shells are shot of a punk, they shoot them rapidly. If you are gonna legally arm yourself with something bigger than what they got. Those who serve in the public, they should be fearful of the public. They should be fearful that the public is going to be dissatisfied with their job that they're doing, not feeling like they're tyrants, not feeling like they're bullies because they got good body armor and walkie-talkies. That makes them immune to whatever the people would do. I think you want to correct the ideology of the pig and the mentality of the slave catcher. You meet them with equal force. All power to the people. No power to the pig.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, that was Paul. Let me remove that. Birdsong, Chairman Paul Birdsong, again, of the Philadelphia chapter of the Black Panther Party. Of course, we know that the Black Panther Party came into existence in 1966 under Huey P. Newton and Bobby Seale. Started in Oakland, California. Then, of course, there were other chapters that branched out. We also know about Chairman Fred Hampton that had his life taken from him in 1969, December 4th to be exact. There in Chicago. And so I looked into Paul Birdsong, and it sounds like he joined the Black Panther Party in the 2020. He got active after the George Floyd, protests and things like that. Of course, you guys know that George Floyd had his life taken from him by Derek Chauvin when Derek Chauvin put a knee to his neck. And so, again, I went digging just to see if I can learn a little bit more about him. And this is a video that I found. I'm going to show y'all some other stuff as we go here.
I'm the chairman of the Black Panther Party for Self-Defense, and on behalf of the Black Panther Party for Self-Defense and every revolutionary nationwide that agrees with this cause, I want to first, I'm telling all my comrades, every Black Panther out there, we're going to stop calling the pigs pigs, and we're going to refer to them by their actual name. We're going to call them slave catchers. So when you confront the slave catchers, call them slave catchers. When you address the slave catchers, call them slave catchers. From now on, the only way we refer to the pigs, the Black Panther Party for Self-Defense, is we call them slave catchers. And I would like to tell all my brothers and sisters nationwide, stop referring to them as what they are. And I know it's a lot of people out there that say, oh, well, this cop is a good cop and this cop is a good cop. Once they put on that badge, once they take that oath, they're taking the oath to the slave catcher patrol. Mm-hmm. And I take it, they call the police officers now, but their name is slave catcher patrol. That's what they is, that's what they always have been. Every black officer out there, shame on you. I'm gonna tell you why. You know how the black police officer came into fruition? Back in the day, what a slave owner would do would go to one of the slaves and say, hey, if you'll help me catch my property and secure my property, I won't touch your wife. Mm-hmm. I won't touch your daughter. Mm-hmm. I'll let you live in the shed at the corner of the plantation. I won't bother you, but you gotta help me retrieve my property. That's the origin of you being a black police officer, is the plantation owners giving the slaves leeway if they come help them catch the other slaves. They wanna use your instincts, they wanna use your thought process as another black person to help them catch black people. That's your origin, shame on you. Mm-hmm. So I just wanted to put that on, and we're gonna refer to them henceforth as what they are, slave catcher patrol. All power to the people. No power to the slave catchers.
All right, so as you see there, I'm gonna leave that up for just a second. That's the Black Panther Party, I guess, there in Philadelphia. And as you can see, there's quite a few people who are not black, right? You see some Asian there. You see a white man, a white woman, I think Hispanic, and black people, obviously. And so I saw that somebody had posted this picture, and then I went and found this video. So, of course, if you didn't know, especially there in Chicago, the Black Panther Party did form a rainbow coalition. That's where it came from originally, right? So they wanted to join hands, and I'm paraphrasing, with other oppressed people. So just want to kind of get y'all a look at that. That's the Black Panther Party there in Philadelphia. Okay. Now, there's a lot of people who are excited, right? They're excited that the Black Panther Party has come onto the scene, and it's about time. Now, I'm going to show you a video of a Latina. I spliced it up because she was basically watching the video that I just showed y'all when he was in the street talking about safe line replace or whatever it was. But this is the beginning of what she said and the end of what she said.
Weeks ago, I had made a video and I was saying how protesting and all that is okay, but what we really need is a Black Panther movement, people protecting the communities. And I found one, And this is exactly what everyone needs to be doing. Watch this. That may seem a little much for some people, but that is the only way. The only way. So if that seems scary to you, then you're not ready. But for me, sign me up. Sign me up.
All right. So a Latina was basically saying she had been looking for the Black Panther Party, and then they showed up. And she says, you know, sign me up. She's ready and about time and all of that. But my thing is, what happened to the Brown Berets? Where the Brown Berets at? Now, they're the answer, if you will, to the Black Panther Party, but they are Chicano, you know, Mexican-American per se, or the Young Lords, right? The Young Lords, they are Latino, and they're in New York area and things like that. Shout out to them because they have done some great things in history and, you know, fighting oppression and things like that. But why not sign up for them? Now, I follow the Young Lords, and I follow them for a while. And I saw somebody made a post on their Facebook page like, yo, when are we going to get active, right? Where do we sign up? Because the Black Panther Party, you know, is out there in them streets per se. When are we going to do what we need to do? And of course, people kind of going back and forth. But at least the Young Lords is like, okay, Black Panther is out there per se. I say per se, right? Well, apparently, Mr. Paul Birdsong, he's like, wait a minute now. I've been seeing that viral video of me, and it ain't what you think it is. Here we go.
To the people, Chairman Paul Birdsong from the Black Panther Party. Foreign Factor Community Defense Duty. Listen, I want you to pay attention to the propaganda. So that video going around about me saying, hey, if an ICE agent run up on me, you know, that ain't what happened. If you look at the video, you see I'm talking, and then he cuts to another scene, you know, instead of showing me talking straight through, because it was chopped and spliced. So what I said was, if an ICE agent run up on me, whatever force they use against me, I'm gonna use equal force to defend myself. Ain't nobody taking me nowhere or doing nothing to me. Then after that, I said, anybody runs up on me, anybody tries to do anything to me, I put a hole in the size of a window, safe light repair, safe light replace, because I ain't nobody's victim. Now, I meant everything that I said, but the way they put it together, it sounded like I'm just making a threat, you know what I'm saying, to ICE, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know if the dude knew what he was doing necessarily, like if he's purposely trying to make it seem like I said something like that, or if he was like, you know, he was just putting it together because he thought it sounded good, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, that goes for anybody though. You know, anybody that means harm towards any black man, woman, or child, anybody that means harm towards me, I'm gonna shoot, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I'm not specifically threatening anybody, but I will say about ICE, I was born here on this continent, and my dad and his dad and his dad and his dad, and my mom and her mom and their mom and her mom. So my people from this continent, right? So if somebody run up on me trying to take me somewhere else, I am going to. The reason being, because I have the right to defend myself, and there's nobody who can legally deport me to somewhere else that I wasn't born in. You know what I'm saying? I'm a citizen of this continent, right? And my people were citizens of this continent before the colonizers came over here. So you're not going to ship me nowhere. So at that point, you would be trying to kidnap me, right? And I will anybody who tries to kidnap me. I don't care what you call yourself. So, you know, however you want to take it, you know what I'm saying? And I'm going to tell everybody out there, if somebody tries to kidnap you, you know what I'm saying? You know, if you get legally arrested for something you did, I can't really say nothing. You know, if you went to a country, no matter what country you were in illegally, and they find out and they deport you, that's on you. But if somebody literally illegally tries to grab you and take you somewhere, that's kidnapping. You ain't gotta let nobody kidnap you. You better lay their ass out. More power to the people.
Okay, so that was again Chairman Paul Birdsong basically saying, wait a minute now, it wasn't what it was. Whoever did the video originally of him talking out in the streets, they spliced some things together and made it seem like he was going, you know, out there to do something to ICE. And he says basically his target is not ICE. He didn't threaten ICE, but he basically saying that my people are from here. So a lot of people are saying, where are your people from? Now, he didn't answer to whether he was black, although I think the assumption is that he is. But then when we see the video of him all together with everybody else, is he? I don't know. But he did say, my people, my mama's people and people and people, and my daddy's people and people been here before the colonizers. So I'm assuming, right, that he is Black American. He's probably heard all of the questions about who he is. Okay. So he is saying, that's not what I said. I wasn't out there threatening ICE. So there's been some people that to call him to the carpet. So I'm going to bring this up. So this is P. Ray, what's her name? Easton, I think it is. Some of y'all might know her. Easley, rather, P. Ray Easley. She's running for Congress from Chicago. She's a Republican, and she basically said, I just got off the phone with Chairman Fred Hampton Jr., Fred Hampton's son, right? He said to stop sharing the videos of these fake Black Panthers because all we're doing is giving them validity. He said that they are agent provocateurs and are looking to sour the name of the organization. Now, this is from her Twitter feed, and she put up that she was actually talking to Chairman Fred Hampton, they're, all in Chicago, whatever. She showed that they were talking for 6 minutes and all that, just to prove from what she was saying that she actually got the word on the curb from Fred Hampton's son. Now, I had seen this narrative going around the internet saying that Fred Hampton Jr. was saying that Paul Birdsong is a fraud and this, that, and the other, but I wanted to kind of get some evidence for myself. This is the close that I came to some real evidence that Fred Hampton said it. I didn't hear him myself, but she's saying she actually talked to him. We're going to take her word for it. So again, their agent provocateurs is what Fred Hampton Jr., the son of Chairman Fred Hampton, is saying. Okay, now I'm going to put up another gentleman who is saying that he is a chairman of the Triple OG Black Panther Party, and this is what he had to say about it.
Hey, national leader of the original Black Panther Party here. We have received many emails from people asking what is our official stance on the ICE situation. I need you all to listen and understand what I'm telling you. We, the original Black Panther Party, in good conscience cannot risk life and limb of our people for groups of people who have not risked life and limb for us. Just because we have a common enemy, that does not equate to us having a common problem. If this was so, now listen to me. If we had a common problem and enemy, where were the immigrants or even the Black immigrants as a whole when Breonna Taylor, Tyree Nichols, Trayvon Martin, Rollin Hill, Ahmaud Arbery, Eric Garner, Michael Brown, where were you at when our people are murdered in the streets, slaughtered in cold blood by an agency that now hunts you? But now that injustice has touched your door, we have something in common. The Black agenda must come first. We are still working on in-house unification. We cannot afford to divide our ranks to help individuals who have not been reciprocatory. Black citizens, we are not the target. Sure, like anything else, a few Black citizens get stopped, hassled, and ID'd. That's been happening to us for 400 plus years. The difference now is we aren't who they're looking for. We don't mean this in a harsh way to any community that migrated here and are targets of ICE. But legal or illegally, this has been our experience since our shackle feet touched the Virginia soil. Welcome to America.
All right, so you heard him. I believe that he said his name was Michael Green. Don't quote me. I'll try to find it so I can give him the credit for his work and what he was saying. But he is a leader of the original Black Panther Party. And he basically said, the Black agenda must come first. We're not about to be out there fighting for, everybody else, especially when they have not fought for us. And he evoked the name of Breonna Taylor. Of course, you guys know that she had her life taken from her in Kentucky during a no-knock warrant raid, if you will, on her apartment, where the officers thought they were at the right apartment, but they weren't. They began to fire into her apartment, taking her life. Her boyfriend, of course, had to fight, the police and everything like that. He came out victorious from what I understand. But he was like, Black Americans are not ICE's target. Are there some Black Americans getting caught up in, ICE? Yeah, we've seen some of the videos. Looks like they were let go when they were pulled over and asked for their ID and things like that. But he was like, that's not what we need to be doing. We got a lot of things we got to solve in our own community before we get out there with capes on. So he didn't necessarily speak of, I understand, Paul Birdsong, but he was asked, about it. And he says that we're going to address it. So in a sense, he's saying that's not us. We're not out there trying to fight against ICE and all of that. Now, as I said in my video the other day, people need to study history, because I have seen a whole lot of people out there, Black, white, brown, whoever, saying about time that the Black Panthers are out there and they're, showing up to fight against ICE and Trump and this, that, and the other. Well, I say study history because you know why the Black Panther Party, in a sense, got disbanded and dismantled. I know they're still around, but from the glory days that they were in, and that was due to COINTELPRO under J. Edgar Hoover, who labeled them, public enemy number one. And the quote that the greatest threat to America is Negro unity actually came from him, attributing that to the Black Panther. And then, of course, we say that now. So, of course, we know that especially in California, where it began, the Black Panthers were on the Capitol there in Sacramento with their weapons and things like that. And the governor at the time, Ronald Reagan, y'all know who he was, and ended up being the president. He was an actor. He says, "Oh, I don't think so. Not on my watch." And so they changed the laws from open and carry to carry and conceal type thing, strictly because of the Black Panther Party. Now, again, as I said before, we've seen a lot of Black organizations pick up arms, if you will, 2A, right? Second Amendment right is your God-given right if you're legal to do that. But we've seen them pick up those things, and we've seen what happened to them. I mentioned the NFAC, Not Effing Around Coalition under Grandmaster Jay, who is now doing a 7-year and 2-month prison bid for being accused of aiming his weapon at a federal agent, if you will. As I said, I don't believe he did that. I believe it was a witch hunt to send a message to all the other Negroes who want to pick up, arms, that this can happen to you. And NFAC, I don't know where they are now, but it sounds like, they're not as active as they used to be. We saw them in their full glory walking through the streets of Kentucky. That's where he got accused of doing that. Grandmaster Jay, Kentucky, with all of their weapons. And it was a whole lot of them, right? And so that was a sight to see. Of course, white folks and the government was like, "Oh, for real? Is this what they're doing?" And again, we know the history. So we also know a lot of other organizations that do not carry weapons for that particular reason. They know the minute that they pick up arms, then the full weight of the government will come on them. So they just choose not to do that. So is Paul Birdsong an imposter? I don't know. It sounds like he might be, or he might be over his head. But there sure are a lot of people starting to call him out and saying, "Nah, he don't speak for us. This man came out of nowhere as an agent provocateur. He trying to get something started. Is he trying to get Black Americans out there in the streets? Because mostly Black Americans are not out there." So there's a lot of questions as to who sent you. Donovan?
Yeah, you pretty much said everything that I wanted to say. But when I was listening to the young man, and again, perception is everything by everybody. It's just human nature. We judge every day. You get up, you say, "Oh, what clothes am I going to wear today? What car am I going to take? Am I going to take the bus?" Whatever. So people judge, and that's just human nature. But did you guys notice he was a light-skinned man, light-skinned Black man, obviously. Adjective, again, light-skinned Black man. I don't know his background. I don't know what his background is. I have mixed people in my family. And of course, I cannot help but think they have to consider their lineage and their allegiance to the white side of their family, or the Hispanic side of their family, or the Asian side of their family, not just to the Black side, right? But did you guys notice he kept saying he's from the continent? He never said, "I'm from the United States." He said, "I'm from the continent." So whenever I hear somebody say that, that tells me that they are not from the United States. Because if you're from the United States, you just say, "Hey, I'm from the United States. I'm from Houston. I'm from California. I'm from this." You have no overwhelming doubt of where you're from. The United States is in the North American continent. But of course, also in the North American continent is the Caribbean. So I'm starting to think that maybe one of his parents is one of our Caribbean cousins. So that's my opinion on that. But I want you guys to understand this. And I've said this for years. Why are these other groups not fighting for themselves? We have a saying in the military, okay? In the military, 24 years. We have a saying in the military. If you're not willing to fight for your own freedom, you don't deserve to be free. It's as simple and cut and dry as that. So when you see American troops in other countries fighting for these other people's freedom, Vietnam, Korea, so on, so forth, do you know the lack of respect any man has for another man that's not willing to fight for his country and stand up for his thing? I'm not saying all of them. There was troops there that were fighting. But in general, that is the saying. If you are not willing to fight for yourself, you don't deserve to be free. You deserve to be a slave. And that's an old saying. But I also want you guys to observe something else. And this is what I would never understand about us as Black people. We know our power. Look at all of these people doing everything in their power to get us involved in their ish. They're doing everything they can do because they know Black people, we know how to get down. We are the only group in this country that fights white supremacy every day, and we've won battles, not only physical, but legal battles. The work was done by the time they got here. We built the country. Look at all of the power that these other groups see in us. Demetra, my biggest problem is, why isn't it that we don't see that in ourselves? I'll leave it right there.
Donovan, you and I are both coughing. There must be something going on in the air or something. So yeah, and I see a lot of people talking about that the video was spliced. So hopefully you saw me put up the video of him saying, yeah, the video was taken out of context. But even the video taken out of context, did you say any of those words at all? Now I understand, like you said, whoever it was edited to make it seem like he was a little bit more gangster than he was, but I don't know. I just tend to think we should be careful what we say, especially when you're wielding, weaponry and all of that other stuff. You out there in the streets. Because one thing too, we know about the Trump administration, we have seen them put up videos that were completely false and fake and lies and, go on as if it was real. So for me, I would just try to be careful, right? Belita, how you doing? Says this is too much. Arneva says, I wonder if he's related to Cindy Birdsong. Who is that? JJ says, if any FBA with a half a brain would not.
Cindy Birdsong is a Supreme.
Okay, got you. I don't know. You say any FBA with a half a brain would not join his group. Yeah, and the Black Panther Party has been around. There's chapters all over. There's the new Black Panther Party. It's this Black Panther Party. It's the Wakanda Black Panther. So there's Black Panther parties all over the place, right? So it seems like there's definitely a disagreement amongst all of them. See, Tyler, what's going on with you? Says imposters don't fall for it. Again, it sounds like he got active in 2020 during the George Floyd protest. Brother James says the reason why you see them because he's fighting for their causes and not ours. Also, let me add, how come you really don't see other groups at the Million Man March over 30 years ago? Yeah, there's a lot of questions, definitely. Mr. South Carolina, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Helly Belly, what's going on? You says these Panthers are from Wakanda, straight fictional BS. You crazy. Let's see him skip down just a tiny bit. Lala Brown, what's going on? You say facts. Brother Reggie, what's going on with you? Says, what was that? Young Rosie Perez. What? Night Rider, how you doing? Says, ain't nothing black about them so-called Panthers. I don't know what the brother is, whoever he is. He didn't say he was black, but he's with the Black Panthers. I don't know. There's a lot of questions for sure. So I don't know. Mr. Lawrence, how you doing?
But ask yourself this, Demetra. They're using the adjective black, but then you see the members and there's barely any black people in there. Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and that's true. But I would say too, especially the original Black Panthers, the ones in California, from what I could see, and I'm not a aficionado on the Black Panther, so I won't, speak out of my knowledge range there. I didn't see a whole lot of others, but I do know with in the Chicago chapter with under Fred Hampton, yes, there were a whole lot of others. They did have the Rainbow Coalition, so I don't know if there was others, but they joined together with other groups, even having conversations with the KKK, right? Because they felt like they had the same enemy, which is the government, all that other stuff. So and some of them they did have what they call the Rainbow Coalition, which is I guess where Jesse Jackson I guess made his organization. Don't quote me though. 23 Archer, how you doing? Says, what about the ICE members that are immigrants rounding up other immigrants? Yes. Yeah, right. I've seen some, and I saw one where a brother, I think it was a brother was getting pulled over or whatever it was. And no, I think it was another Hispanic, and it was like, you got an accent too. Because they pulled him over, whatever it was, and they said, you got an accent. And he was like, you got an accent too. So the ICE agent, so is this what we're doing, right? And I will say that I did see Paul Birdsong in another video also say, listen, we're talking about protecting immigrants who are legal, not protecting illegal immigrants. So that he wanted to make a difference with that. Let's see here, just going down. Mama T, what's good? What's going on with you? Peace and blessings to you. Tito, what's going on? Brother, let's see this, guys. Let's see. CJ Love, what's going on? He says, I'm sick of these people protesting ICE. Yeah, it's getting real sticky out there in them streets for real. Gizmo, what's going on? Says this man is not foundation of Black America. So you other groups do not think he's one of us because he's not. I don't know. Is he? Is somebody proving that he's not or what he is? I don't know exactly who Paul Birdsong is, but I guess we'll find out, right? Because people do a lot of digging. Mark, how you doing? Say he's an agent provocateur. So that's what the word on the curb is from the other chapters. That he don't speak for us. Text what was going on. She says clearly a Democrat plant. If you ask me, might be. He might be. Naima says, nah, man, you were talking reckless under the Black Panther name. So yeah, and that's the other thing too. From what I understand, there is a lot of schism within the Black Panther Party. There's just different types. The new Black Panther Party. So it's like, what is the new Black Panther Party in regards to the old Black Panther Party, right? I don't know. Online safety, how you doing? Says it's a very large continent. That is true. So he could be from anywhere, right? Brother Reddy says continent and country are two different things, my man. That is true. And Marcus said he's a fake. Okay, let's see. Skipping on down. Africa Data said that's is how they infiltrated the Black struggle in the past. A black cat is not a panther cub. That's true. That is how they infiltrated. And that's how the Black Panthers were infiltrated there in Chicago. Fred Hampton, right? We know that William, I forget his name. So many of them, but he infiltrated the Black Panthers there and told them where Fred Hampton would be sleeping and the schematics of his apartment and a whole host of things. And that's why he's not here. Of course, we know that they used an agent, the first Black FBI agent, Agent 800, to infiltrate the UNIA under Marcus Garvey. So yeah, that's what they do. Of course, we know that was in a sense used, kind of, sort of, for the assassination of Malcolm X, although we know that was the United States government and the NYPD who are responsible for but they did send people in there to infiltrate per se. All right. Val, how you doing? Says, dude thinks he's a shot caller. Yeah, he's kind of like, nah, that ain't, they splice my stuff together, right? Cause Lisa, what's going on with you? Says, you sound dumb if you should be telling them if you're here illegal, just go with them. Sound real dumb, man. Yeah, so he did make the difference that, we're not talking about illegal immigrants. I saw this in another video that he made. Gearhead, how you doing? Says the gatekeeper Panthers. Okay. Dorothy says, I'm sick of these immigrants. This Birdsong guy needs to chirp someplace else. All of his talking points sound like Waltz. So Tim Waltz, who is not running for governor again. Sister Diane, how you doing? Damon, what's going on? She says, I knew he smelled what? I knew I smelled Goya powder. This goofball is a plant op. Who sent them? And then now we gonna find out, because people do find out.
Yeah, and you got to remember, Sydney made a good point. Like I said, I'm not saying all the original Black Panthers in my state weren't, like, he had a few mixed people, people were joining, whatever. But whenever the Panthers spoke in an official capacity, you never saw a white person speaking for the Panthers. You never saw an Asian speaking for the Panthers. It was a Black man. There was no doubt it was a Black man. I've never seen a light-skinned man, Black man, speaking in, for a group radical like that. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. But optics do make a point in propaganda. You got to have the right optics. So if you got this light-skinned dude, not saying light-skinned dudes don't come with the fire, but fellas, some of us in the group, we know, hey, brother, you kind of, you don't have that. But anyway, but optics matter. Optics matter.
Well, I guess Malcolm X didn't have that either. Or who else was light-skinned? The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, light-skinned. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad was light-skinned. So I guess they ain't
brown skin. No, I'm talking about those guys that look like their moms or dads could have been white. I'm talking about those type of guys.
Okay. Yolanda, how you doing? Says he's part Caribbean. Another says, oh, they tried to hit us with the okie doke. I don't know. I see quite a few Black folks out there excited about the appearance of the Black Panther Party. Jacoby, how you doing? Says he's a fake egg, cause like Huey South Park character. Okay. Let's see. Zamboru, I hope I said that right. How you doing? He says, according to an Instagram influencer, he's Jamaican and white. Okay, so he might be. I mean, he didn't say he was Black. Okay, now I know Jamaicans say they're Black, but is he Black American? I guess that's probably where people are going with that.
Right. I think he's more of a Caribbean cousin. But then again, let's go back to Rachel Dolezal. Here's a woman that did more for Black people than the Black people in her chapter. She did so well that they gave her award within the organization. So we're not discrediting people who have a different lineage, but your paperwork and the results show what you're doing.
Yeah, James, how you doing? Says, I'm doing fine. How about yourself? I hope that you are well today. Let's see. Sister Cynthia, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Candace says, pray cool and the gang. I said that before I heard Pray even say that. So you're talking about the woman who was running for Congress there in Chicago. So
hey, real quick, the Outsider Sports says, why Donovan act like the Caribbeans didn't influence Black Americans? Because they didn't. What have the Caribbeans influenced Black Americans to do? To do what? You don't see a bunch of Black Americans moving to Jamaica or to the Caribbean. What have they done? I mean, they moved here. Rap is a Black thing. If you go to Jamaica, they're dressing like Black Americans. I mean, so I'm not discrediting. I got relatives that are Jamaican. And what I'm saying is they didn't influence Black culture. They haven't done that.
I guess I'm interested in seeing, what he's saying about and hi, thank God it's over. I mean by Caribbeans influence Black Americans, because there might be some truth to that. If he's talking about the Haitian, revolt or whatever, the Haitian revolt. I have so much stuff in my head. He's talking about that or what? So I'd like to get a little bit more information. As we know that they are the only ones that fought the oppressor and won the freedom, by, them. I'm not talking about the Civil War, but I'm talking about, the Haitians. But I don't want to speak for them. R. Ward, how you doing? Says, in my opinion, he's a fake non-Black American Black Panther. What the hell he came from? Where the hell he came from? I think he just pops up all at once and you down with the mayonnaise. Oh, hell no. Yeah, I mean, like I said, most people, I would think if you're in the Black Panther Party, that you would know what happened with the Black Panther Party. COINTELPRO came on down on them because Black Panther Party, it was about Black liberation. It was about defense, right? Protecting Black folks from police brutality. They were about, feeding the community, health clinics, and a whole host of other things, right? What they call Black unity. Let's do for self type of thing. Of course, we know they are all been influenced by those that came before them. And so, yeah. Donovan, what were you going to say?
Oh, no, I was messing with my thing.
Okay, got you. Let's see. Freed Mind, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Let's see. Socially distant camper, what's going on? It says he's literally reading Chat GPT. So who's reading Chat GPT? I don't know who that is.
Hey, do us a favor, you guys. It's absolutely free. Hit the like button, help the algorithm, and share on your platforms.
Hey, Share Girl, how you doing? Says, I knew it. I said, find the old heads and let them speak on some Mamzer. So yeah, there's a lot of people coming out because there was a lot of confusion at first. Like, wait a minute now, the Black Panthers, and it was shock, I would say, within the Black American community. Because, like, wait a minute now, and I'm not trying to diss the Black Panthers. I think they're doing the best that they can, especially what has happened to them. Nobody, and when I say nobody, a lot of people are not gonna withstand the weight of the government when they come after you the way they did. When they want you, they will get you, right? That's why I said I don't think a lot of them really have studied history to see what happened to the Black Panthers and any other Black organization that's come behind them, especially when you picking up weapons and talk about what you gonna do to Uncle Sam and what all this. Yeah, you might want to, as Gil Scott Heron said, the revolution will not be televised and it shouldn't be on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. It shouldn't be nowhere, right? Some of these things need to be underground like they used to be, and all of that. But that when I see that kind of stuff, I'm like, yeah, what's really going on? Did somebody send you? And the other thing is too, the people, that are being targeted per se by the ICE raids and things. Why y'all looking for a savior in the Black community? We've always heard, even, when Trump got into office, from a lot of people, and I just showed you the Latina, where are the Black Americans? They're where they at? And the Black Americans, for a whole host of reasons, whether you were the 92%, 78%, those are the ones that voted for Kamala, and they're, disgruntled that she didn't win. They said that they were arresting. A lot of other Black Americans said, this ain't my problem. This ain't got nothing to do with me, because that same community has not gone out there and on a limb for us at all. They know what we want. We've been wanting it since they freed our people off those plantations, and that is reparations, our 40 acres mule hate crime bills. We want it all. And every time we talk about that, they say what? Oh, you guys don't deserve that. You weren't slaves. When I say they, I'm talking about everybody, white folks, Asians, Hispanics, everybody, right? Even some, from the continent of Africa and the Caribbeans and things like that. And so it's like, okay, now that Trump and Tom Homan and them out there, they trying to gaffle y'all up. Now y'all want to know where we're at. It's like, well, we were wondering the same thing. Again, we hear about this black and brown unity all the time, but as I always say, it's always when they want the black to get with the brown, but never the brown to get with the black. That's when they talk about black and brown unity. So it's like, it's not that we're trying to be mean, right? Of course, you hear this term delineation going around a lot. It's not that we're being mean. We're just finally waking up. I don't say we woke up all the way, but we are finally waking up and saying, hey, we've been rushing to put everybody else's burning building out. Of course, I talked about this the other day, Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday a couple days ago. And he said, I fear I've led my people into a burning house. Well, in regards to that burning house, we've been leaving our burning house and going to put everybody else's burning house out and leaving ours to burn. And so, again, when a lot of people saw that Birdsong, and then we're out there, they're like, huh? The Black Panther Party is doing what? We got all this mayhem and destruction going on in the black community. I'm not even talking about the systemic and institutional racism, but I'm talking about the mayhem and stuff we got going on. And y'all running to help immigrants that are here illegally. So a lot of people were just confused. And so, yes, you have Fred Hampton Jr. and, these other people from all these other chapters saying, wait, pump your brakes. This brother may have been sent to have Black Americans go out there and get into something that does not have anything to do with us. And I'm going to say this, as I always say, I don't stand with ICE, but I'm not standing against ICE. I'd rather stand with my people, if that makes any sense. So I don't want people to think, oh, I'm being this way or the other. No, the call has always been to stand with our people first, just like everybody else stands with their people first.
Yeah, and for those of you guys that are interested, I've been putting a link into the chat. And it has to do with a man named Terry Anderson. And he was talking in the 1990s how illegal immigration affects Black neighborhoods, specifically here in California, what had happened, with the illegals coming into the Black neighborhoods, firebombing Black people's homes and undermining Black people and stuff like that. He said that in the 1990s. And yet, as we move forward here, you see it still coming in fruition. So when I see people that are out here champion and want to run to help these immigrants, he's describing exactly what immigrants do in Black communities. And that was in the 1990s that they still do today. And yet they have the nerve. And if you're not from California, you probably don't have a great understanding of how we feel about it here. But notice the news, and Demetra could co-sign on this for me. Remember, Demetra, it was like almost every other day there was riots in the schools between the Black kids and the Hispanic kids. And these were the people that had migrated here with their racism and stuff like this. So I'm gonna put the link up there. If you guys are interested in listening to what this man said in the 1990s, this is why illegal immigration is so dangerous to Black people. Regardless of how you feel about it, the facts are the facts. And this is what happened here in California. So remember NWA and Compton and this, that. How many of you guys realize Compton is 77% Hispanic now? South Central is basically gone. Black people aren't even in California. 30-year thing. So I'm gonna put that in the chat if you're interested and you want to see what this man is talking about, because it has implications today. He said this over 30 years ago.
Absolutely. So they say he mixed. I mean, I will buy that. He looks like he's mixed to me for sure. So yes, Mike Payne is the name of the Black Panther, who said he was a leader and that, we fighting for our own people first. And yes, I did see that the baby was maced there. I think it was Minnesota. As a brother, he had 6 of his children in the car, and the ICE agents threw mace and things like that. And the brother was like, hey, I ain't got nothing to do with it. It sounded like the baby had problems breathing and things like that. So yeah, I hope that he sues and that he gets all that there is to get. Had nothing to do with him. I'm not saying that ICE are doing everything right. I don't like a lot of the things that they're doing. I think that you should be able to, get people whatever it is. But I think people also are not. They're not factoring in the other stuff that's going on under the Obama administration. They call him the deporter in chief, right? And he deported a whole lot of illegal immigrants and things like that. But the thing that was missing during the Obama administration is that you didn't have people trying to fight ICE, right? You didn't have people out there getting in the way of this, that, and the other. And then I would also say that there wasn't the austerity involved in the Obama ICE efforts that there are with the Trump efforts. So my other thing too is, if ICE is there to get people who are illegally in the country, why get in the way of that? You know what I mean? I think that's probably the bigger issue, because it's like, if I'm an ICE agent, and I know a lot of them, I mean, I've heard a lot of horrible stories about them just recruiting people in 47 days. I guess that's a play on Trump being the 47th president. A lot of these people, they're not background checking them. They, doing some things, the ladies and kids, they ain't supposed to be doing, just a lot of things. But I think people should ask, wouldn't it be easier if y'all just, let them do their job? You know what I mean? Now, if they're doing some things they ain't supposed to be doing, yeah, that should be reported and all that. But you're also talking about administration that don't really care too much. Something tells me they told them to go out there, and rock them, sock them. We've seen that. Stephen Miller was on TV talking about they have full immunity to do what they need to do. And if somebody comes to do this, that, and another to you, then you have the right to do what you need to do. So they've gotten the green light. So why are you out there?
Right. Well, ask yourself this. You look at some of the southern states that are Republican, red states or whatever. Why don't you have any incidences that are national news down there? Because they're cooperating with the federal government and they're not messing with their money. You know what I mean? So they're getting cooperation. And it doesn't make sense to me how people are not allowing law enforcement officials to do their job. They've always done this type of job. You just probably never paid attention to it. But here in California, Demetrius from California, I'm from California, ICE agent grabbing somebody up off the street, that to me is not unusual here in California. That happens all the time. It's normalized here. Maybe where you guys are at, it's not a normalized thing. But at the same time, they're going to get their due process. They're going to go through what they need to do. But why would you put your livelihood, your family structure with things as tight as they are in jeopardy to defend people that wouldn't spit on you if you were on fire? Why would you do that?
Absolutely. Yes. I didn't know that the Black Panthers hated the Vietnam War. In fact, they were on the side of Vietnamese, right? And we know that the Vietnamese told the black man, especially, this is not your war. We ain't got no problems with you. Don't come up over here, because our problem is with, the people who send you the white man, right? Of course, you guys know that my dad was a conscious objector. He was not going to the Vietnam War for nobody, right? They put in my dad's file that he was crazy for the things that he was telling him. He's like, I'm not going to go pick up arms to defend this country. And when I come back here, you're going to call me all type of N words and a whole host of other things. And plus he, being a part of the Nation of Islam, they could not do that, which is why you also saw Muhammad Ali. He said he wasn't going, and he got, banned from boxing for a while. And, it cost him a lot of money, but he was like, I will not pick up arms. So yes, we know that the Black Panther Party, they did not like the war. And again, they did side with the Vietnamese on that, as a lot of people did. So yeah, Bobby, you say they have also done a background check, and he also was a rapper. Yes, I did see that as well. So he'd say he's Caribbean and Puerto Rican. Okay, great. So yeah, I did see that he was a rapper too, but again, he got active during the George Floyd things. But again, as a lot of y'all said, seemed like he just came out of nowhere, right? But and as he said, we'll concede that. Sounds like his video was spliced together, edited, this, that, and the other. But it's like, did you say any of that at all? So like I said, I wonder if he's even studied history. Chris, how you doing? Says peace and blessings, brother Don. Let's see. Tito says, and I know these comments are so behind, but you said Donovan is correct. Let's see. Let me just try to. And Corey, how you doing? Says, I hope that idiot got arrested by law enforcement. I don't think he did. The new something got a whole lot of names, but I put this up here. He says we do not have the right representation. Depends on who you're talking about. But how you doing? And Sweet Butters, how you doing? It says the switch from cut the check to Pan-Africanism BS. So you're saying, okay. And let's see. One who cares, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Great or good. What's going on with you? You got all the hairstyles up in there. I love it. Let's see, you got an afro up in there. Yep, you got fros. Yes, you do. Sister Diane, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Brother Thunder says they want us in the streets so badly, but we aren't going. I think and believe they want to enact martial law but they need black people to be the reason. That's just my opinion, of course. But black people ain't giving them the reason. Miss Sweets, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Nah, we ain't going. I mean, we tired. Like I always say too, I don't care. I'm not getting out there in them streets. To me, the fastest way to get out there and send the message is to hold your money. Imagine if everybody that's going through something that don't like the Trump administration, all the things that they're doing, just hold your money. Trump listens to money. That is why he got in office, which is why most people get in office. Maybe not originally, but when they get in there and they see all that they can make, they're like, oh, bet I'm going to be a silent generation up in here for 30, 40, 50 years because I'm keep raking in all this money. But to that point, if everybody would say, this corporation, that corporation, we're not spending money with nobody. Those corporations were going, hey, Trump, these people ain't spending money because you're going a little too hard in the paint with this, that, and the other. They don't like what you're doing, so they're not spending money anymore. And I guarantee you, when the money dry up, because they can't make you spend money on the thing. I'm talking about the things, you just take care of things you need, right? But they can't make you spend money. So when the money dry up, you ain't got to go out there and put your feet to the street. And those people will get to Trump, and Trump will say, you mean the money drying up? Yeah, the money drying up. So we can't give you this, that, the other. And I guarantee you overnight, a lot of this stuff will stop. But see, we are brainwashed as a society. We have been told that we got to get out there. We got to take it by force and take your money by force. And we as Black Americans been told to do that. Take your money by force out of this system of oppressors and stop begging for them to include you and stuff. Take that money from them and go build. That's what we've been told to do. But for whatever reason, people think they got to go out there and catch a case. Nah, not me. I don't look good in orange.
And a good example, I'm glad you brought that up. A good example is right here in California. What's coming up down the pipe? The World Cup. And what does the World Cup leaders have said? They are holding their money. They're not buying tickets and stuff. And guess who's starting to listen? All the legislators, all the mayors, Donald Trump. This was supposed to be a big moneymaker for America, especially here in California. It's the money, y'all. Follow the money.
Yeah, that's going to set to make billions of dollars, right? The FIFA World Cup that's going to be here in the United States is going to be in Houston as well. And they're building all this, that, the other. But like you said, there's a lot of people saying, no, I'm selling my tickets. I'm not going. And they got the hashtags that says America's not safe because, if you're coming from a different country, who's to say ICE ain't going to run up on you, right? So they're spreading that like, nah, But see, that's how you get the message. Under the course to the Trump administration, the ICE talking about they're going to be at the Super Bowl, this, that, and the other. I bet you they won't because the NFL owners, they got a lot of pull. And I guarantee you right now, they told Trump, have those mugs up at the Super Bowl if you want to, right? It's going to get real froggy and gangster around here.
Yes, the Super Bowl this year is up in San Francisco. So what does that tell you? What a state to be in.
Yeah, and it's like, so you gonna run off the money, and don't nobody want the money ran off. But see, we don't understand that. Again, we've been brainwashed, and that's the whole, that's the rub in a sense. Give them, make them think, because they say all power to the people, right? And I believe that is true. That was the battle cry of the Black Panther Party, power to the people. The power to the people, absolutely 100%, but the people aren't using the power that they have directly in their hands, their pockets, their purses, their bank accounts. That's the real power, not getting out there and, getting pew-pew by rubber bullets and real ones and things like that. The power is in your hands. Hold your money. If everybody in America who is disgruntled with what's going on here, giving all that money to overseas, right? Y'all heard about the $3.3 billion that a lot of Democrats and Republicans decided to give them people overseas. If the American people was like, that's enough, I'm not spending no more money, we can shut it down, but we won't do that because, again, we are brainwashing and thinking, we got to get out there and risk life and limb. I'm not about to do it. Sorry. Not sorry. Child of God says Jesse Jackson co-opted the Rainbow Coalition and the LGBTQIA co-opted from them. Yeah, there's a lot of co-opting going on, right? Larry, how you doing? Says if we boycott sports, it would change everything. There you go. Should have read your comment. For Black Americans, people, because everyone around the world will join us and see we are done with the racism in America. You know why? We ain't going to do it. As the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, we are caught up in sport and play, and they got our number. They got our ticket. They know what Black Americans focus more on, whether it's television, sports, whatever it is, right? They throw something out there and we talking about it, right? All they got to do is say, hey, 50, we need you to get a documentary going about P. Diddy and keep these Negroes' minds booted out their brains and all kind of stuff for 2-3 weeks a month. And then, just keep them distracted. So I agree with you. We should, but a lot of us, when we saw what they did to Colin Kaepernick, I'm not watching. And most black folks is back up in there watching football and a whole host of other things. This man still ain't got no job and was blackballed out of a job that he loves because he put it all online for black people.
And isn't that crazy? They went and got what's his name? He played for the Chargers, the football guy, and he was just as old. But you're going to bring him back, but not Colin Kaepernick.
So I heard, right? But they been black folks still watching football, so they know we ain't serious. I'm not trying to be mean. A lot of us want to be, but it's gonna take a collective of us to be serious. D. Ernest, how you doing? Says some Black Panther party across the country are speaking out against this group in Philly. I feel he's dangerous to black people and those who choose to follow him. Yes, I've seen a lot of people speak out and say, "Nah, he ain't it, homie." You. I hope I said that right. He says, I wonder how many times a person has to watch the spook who sat by the door. Yes, by Stanley Greenleaf. I think that's what it was. Before inciting. It's free. It was anyway on YouTube. It's excellent. But, they allowed that movie to go out because they knew we wouldn't take it seriously. It was cute in theory, but they knew we wasn't going to take it seriously. That was the blueprint right there. That movie was the blueprint. And we look at it as entertainment. But it's like, what was he really saying? Again, these people let these certain movies go out because they like Black Americans ain't going to do nothing. Few of them might get, a great idea, but Randy Paul, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Anthony, what's going on with you? Says Black Lives Matter in Chicago in the building. Yes, Black Lives Matter, but the organization ain't. Sky Gail Fisher, what's going on with you? You say he's trying to get FBA citizens under live. Well, hopefully, FBA citizens they got some smarts and not fall for the banana in the tailpipe, right? So it says, who are these imposters pretending to be Black and Panther? Well, I guess it remains to be seen, right? The outside sports. Okay, so you read that. Ooh, that's how far behind I am, huh? Rich, how you doing? So some Black folks are confidential informants and some Blacks are convicted felons and some are entertainers and paid off. So it's very challenging. Yeah. Definitely got to do a lot of vetting. Johan, how you doing? Johan, rather, he says, it looks like the whole chapter of the Black Panther Party is compromised. No one with intelligence would allow him to join. Well, it sounds like he was recruiting in 2020 from what I saw. So what's going on? Just says, be careful what you see. Even salt looks like sugar. Come on now. Come on. And Brother Sydney says they are sending 1,500 paratroopers to Minneapolis. Yes, I saw that. They sending some army and it's a lot going on. Listen, this has been prophesized that this would be going on. Oh, this is, I don't want to sound like a doom and gloom, but this is the end as we know it. It is.
Yeah, let me put some historical context on that. I don't know why people are up in arms about the military coming in, whatever. How many of you guys have heard of the Little Rock Nine?
Yes.
Little Rock Nine, right? What did Eisenhower do to protect those people going in there? He sent in the 101st Airborne. So it's a tool that is used by the president dealing with insurrection and martial law. Most presidents have used martial law in some capacity or another. The last time martial law was used, and I'm going to give one that I think everybody can understand, during the Rodney King situation. When a city puts a curfew on its citizens, that's a form of martial law. So it isn't necessarily, dictatorship and they're just taking over. No, if you are given time restraints to be inside and to be in certain areas, that is a form of martial law. So a little history context for you guys.
Well, thank you for that. And Kendall, how you doing? It says, get his out of here before he gets his people hurt. He's a joke and not FBA, and we don't respect him at all. And this show is disgusting and disrespectful to our ancestors. Okay. Let's see. Oh, I got down to the bottom. I didn't mean to. My comment skipped all the way to the bottom, so y'all must forgive me. Let's see. African Native says no white tenderism restaurant if not Black owned. Oh, don't get me involved in that. Jay Bubba, how you doing? Ricardo, what's going on with you? He says we knew he was a fraud when he showed up. Yeah, when I saw it, I was like, is this for real? King Shaw, he says Philip Rivers, 55-year-old tail. Okay. Robert, that's what you're saying. Let me see. Who are you talking to? Fluffy Bunny, how you doing? Says, y'all, if Kamala had won, we'd be worse off. She would have let 20 million more illegal and legal immigrants by now. I'm now no fan of Trump, but we are better off with his win. I agree with you. Not that I'm a fan of Trump either, but Trump's administration is the great equalizer. I say it's the great equalizer because ain't nobody off limits. White women ain't off limits. Latinos ain't off limits. The Asians, I heard the ICE agents was like, where the Asians at, right? Ain't nobody off limits, right? Before, everybody's watching Black Americans get their tailbone kicked in, and wow, what did you do? And then old Trump come in the office, and he said everybody can get it. You know who everybody is? Everybody who ain't an oligarch and got the money he got. Everybody who cannot sit in that $300 million ballroom that he building, right? So the Trump administration is the great equalizer, right? Because nobody, really could foresee a white woman catching a bad one like that, right? She even didn't think that, I'm quite sure, because she in the middle of the street. I'm talking about Renee Good, right? Her and her wife in the middle of the street. Oh, you big boy, you go get lunch and you think you're so and he was like, you know what, I'm about tired of you, pew pew. And then nobody else thought that the very white administration in the White House, whether it was men or women, talking about, well, our ICE officers was in the riot and you guys leave him alone. You're doxing him and he's, went to the hospital, his internal bleeding, like they defending what he did. Now, I don't want to argue whether she ran him over or not. That ain't for me to decide, right? Her people get to the bottom of it. We got our own things go on, but the Trump administration is letting everybody know ain't nobody safe, right? And so that's why I say it's a blessing in disguise, because everybody's got to wake up now. It's like, oh, I thought it was just the blacks. Nah, it's you too, because you ain't got no money, especially when they the Republicans and Trump and them was like, yeah, we gonna shut this government down because of the spending bill, debacle, whatever. It was our white folks in the sticks of Alabama and Mississippi and all over the place. Republicans, big time MAGA, wearing the red hat that couldn't get their food at the store because their food stamp card was on empty. Trump didn't consider them or anybody else. All the white folks, when Elon Musk went up into all these departments there in Washington with Doge and y'all seen him at one of those rallies. He held up a chainsaw. When he went in there, he slashed all those jobs. A lot of them people were white. A lot of those people, shortly after they lost them jobs, you saw that a lot of those houses there were all of a sudden, all these houses for sale. Why? Because they couldn't afford to pay the mortgage after Elon went and cut their jobs unapologetically. He didn't go in there. He's one of the biggest racists on the planet. He is the son of apartheid, right? He didn't go in there and say, show me where the white people are. Show me where the white women are. They didn't do that. When they was running around the country talking about get rid of DEI. See, in theory, they thought they was hurting black people, but who did they hurt? They hurt the white woman, because the white woman is the biggest benefactor of, DEI. So everybody could get it. And as Black Americans, while we don't love everything Trump is doing, we got less than 3 years. We got less than 3 years, and we had less than that because, as Dr. Claude Anderson said, about 2015, we was going to be a permanent underclass. But now that Trump is saying everybody can get it, this is the time for Black Americans to strategize, get off the goddamn internet, stop arguing with people all day long, and say, what is it that we need to be doing? We need to be practicing group economics. We need to up United Nation, accomplish what you will. We need to do for self, right? There's a lot of things we need to be doing. So, yes, Trump is a douche. And I'm not saying he just is. I've always said that he was that, right? And I understand the nature of Trump. Is Trump racist? Yes. Does he know how to get where he needs to go? Yes. He is selling red meat to the racists, and he's making a lot of money doing it. And his end game is, I don't care about this country, but I care about getting that $400 million plane and, building my mansions and, all these other, Middle East. I care about that. I care about making my children billionaires. That's what Trump care about. And if you read this book, let me get it. It's the Communist Manifesto, somewhere around here. They said that those things would be a distraction. And what are we? We're distracted. We're talking about the Democrats, the Republicans, the gay, the straight, the black, the white, and the orange man with the other men. They moving all this money, and we arguing over stuff that don't matter. And as I said too, if we was to hold our money, you see Jeff Bezos up there, see Elon Musk and Google, all these other people up there with Trump. How many people ordered from Amazon recently? Are you really mad at Jeff Bezos and that he's hanging out with the oligarchy and he is the oligarchy and he's given to in fact, from what I understand, the Trump administration is going to allow Jeff and them to intertwine more into the American people's money and things, and ain't nothing you can do about it. But how many people order from Amazon? How many people are still thinking about getting a Tesla or any of the other stuff? So some of this has to be on us. But again, Trump's administration is the great equalizer because everybody not can get it, but they getting it.
Here's my question, Demetria, and I agree with a lot of things that you just said there. Here's my question. When I hear people rail against Trump and what Trump is doing, how long have you been in this country to understand how white supremacy works? That's why it's called white supremacy. White at all cost must be number one. They will sacrifice their own, which they did, this white woman, to show people white supremacy is a must. You do not go against white supremacy. But my biggest question is this. When I hear people talk about how bad Trump is and this, that, and what he's doing and whatever the deal is, I ask myself all the time, Demetria, well, we have checks and balances in our Constitution. Why aren't you asking why your representatives aren't putting in the legislation to either change the law and put the next president or this president in check? Do you guys realize Trump can't run for re-election? So do you think he gives a damn what anybody thinks, especially if nobody is checking him? Why aren't we asking ourselves that question? Oh, well, there's nothing we could do. Do you guys realize a senator is directly elected by the people? No different than a mayor. Every 2 years, Congress runs. No different. Why aren't we holding them accountable? But here's what I don't understand, Demetria. People that would never vote for Donald Trump have this obsession that Donald Trump is going to do something for them. Why aren't you holding the people that you vote for accountable to checking Donald Trump? Oh, Donald Trump this, Donald Trump that. Why aren't you Maxine Waters? Why aren't you holding her accountable? You voted for her. Why aren't you holding Jasmine Crockett accountable? You voted for her. Why aren't you Jimbo Clyburn, the Black Caucus, all these black things? But we don't hold none of them accountable except the one person who occupies an office that can be checked. Everything Donald Trump is doing can be checked by the power of the purse. Ask yourself, why are none of those people doing anything in Congress but sitting on their hands?
Because again, we're distracted by party lines, right? Democrat this, Republican that. And that's where the fight is right now. That's where the most attention is. And again, you know, you think because, and God love her, right? I don't want to be disrespectful, but you think that Maxine Waters is reclaiming her time. Maxine Waters is in her big 80s, okay? She's in big 80s, no disrespect to her, but she's running again. Maxine Waters, they said that there's a 24 silent generationers. I think, there's about 12 or so of them running again. There's 24 silent generationers still in office.
Half of them, yep.
Yeah, 12 of them are running again. And they'll probably all win. And my question is why? Again, I'm not trying to engage in ageism because we'll all be old one day or whatever it is. But I think when it's time, it's time. Like, at what point do you stop going to the polls and vote for Maxine Waters, who has been reclaiming her time, and she ain't reclaimed nothing else? She ain't reclaimed nothing for Black Americans. Now, when she first got in there, she was talking about reparations, but she was talking, right? But now she's talking about, maybe it's senility, I don't know, but she's talking about running behind ICE vehicles and running in back alleys and stuff, trying to stop ICE. So it's like, if y'all, whoever y'all could vote for her, go in there and put her in office, don't blame her. Blame you. You didn't want better representation. You didn't want that. And then you want, like you said, Donovan, you want to go hold Trump accountable, but the people that will hold Trump accountable is Congress, the House and the Senate. They're the ones that hold Trump accountable. But right now, shoot, he running roughshod and rope-a-doping everybody because he got the House, the Senate, and the Supreme Court. Now, the Supreme Court interprets the laws. Now, if you get somebody in Congress who may want to change the laws or be a road block or whatever for Trump, then the Supreme Court has to say, all right, this is what Congress wants. Supreme Court don't make the laws. They interpret the laws. So when you're going in there and you vote for Maxine Waters, I don't know if James Clyburn is running again. Doesn't sound like he is. But any of these other people, even if they're young and they've not proven, your Jasmine Crockett's, she on the payroll too. And you know what payroll I'm talking about, right? You're going to put them in office and they've not proven to you that they're going to do anything for you. Don't get mad at Trump or don't get mad at the next president, because those are the ones that's supposed to hold him accountable. And instead of the Democrats trying to come up with a strategy to get, and I think that they will do okay in 2000, in November. I think they will. But instead of running around trying to fight ICE and at the Supreme Court arguing whether boys, biological boys who are trans now should be able to play in girls and women's sports, see, that's the foolishness that got them out of control in the first place. They arguing about the wrong stuff. Because as I said, with the whole trans thing, no shade to trans people, that's common sense and is nonsensical at the same time that you will spend time where the Supreme Court hears less than 10% of cases that come before them a year, and that gets the attention whether biological boys could play with girls. That's the stuff, the hill that the Democrats are dying on. And so again, you mad at Trump, but you're not mad at the representative who's going to go and continue on with the foolishness. And then let's keep it a buck. The state and local level election have the lowest voter turnout, the lowest. Some of these seats go unopposed. Some of these people win by 5, 6 votes, and all kind of stuff, because people just don't show up. Why? Because it's not sexy. It's not on the news all the time. It's not the federal level. And then when Trump gets into office and he's ping-ponging all over the goddamn place and nobody can stop him, then you're mad. But then you ask yourself, well, did you go to vote for your city? Not that the city council has anything to do with Washington in a way, but did you go vote for your House representative? Did you go vote for your senator? Did you vote even for the assemblyman, right, who does things in your state? Did you vote for those people? Nah, I didn't show up. Why you didn't show up? Why you didn't show up? Oh, you mad because your sheriff is a big time, undercover racist? Did you go and vote? Because he can, in a lot of cases, you can vote for your sheriff. Nah, I ain't show up for that. Oh, the mayor, he is the president or she is the president of your city. Did you show up to vote for that? When I was willing to shut up. Then shut up. Because all you doing, and I mean that disrespectfully, because all you doing is whining and crying, but you won't go show up when it matters. But then you think Trump is hardly even in the White House. Trump is in Mar-a-Lago more than anything. He's trying to turn the damn White House into the party house, right? They said the doggone ballroom is bigger than the rest of the doggone White House, right? So is he planning on leaving? Something tells me he's not. Maybe he's trying some other things, but the point that I'm making is Trump ain't in Washington, but you know who controlling Washington? The people you won't go vote out of office or vote into office. That's who's controlling Washington.
Yeah. Somebody in the chat said, how do you hold them accountable? Very easy. You don't let them sit in that seat. If they're not doing the job you sent them to do, if you have a problem with Donald Trump and they supposedly have a problem with Donald Trump as Democrats, where's the legislation? You don't reward them by letting them sit there and get another term. That's one thing you don't do. The days of homesteading in these seats are over for these politicians. If they are not doing what we tell them to do and what we need them to do, especially as FBAs, you get your 2 years and you're out of there. It's as simple as that. That is the new mindset.
WIFBA, what's in it for Black Americans? That's the term I came up with. WIFBA, what's in it for Black Americans? That should be what it is, right? I'm not saying they got to do only something for us, but you got to be doing something for us too. That should be the battle cry. What are we getting as well as everybody else is getting? And Brother Thunder says, what do you think about what's going on in Greenland and NATO? Just in case families stock up and stay ready. For some reason, the phone networks are malfunctioning all of a sudden. Yeah, I think it did it twice for Verizon last week. But as far as Greenland and NATO, I know Europe is trying to strike back with like $100 and something billion worth of tariffs back on the United States for talking about encroaching upon Greenland. Of course, you guys know that Trump is talking about he wants Greenland. There's something there that he wants. I can't remember what it is, but yeah, he wants Greenland and a couple other things. But I don't know what is NATO or anybody gonna do about it? They ain't been doing nothing at all, so I don't know. Donovan may know more about it than I do.
It's a distraction. International law. We cannot go into a country unless we are outright going to war and invading that country. How many of you guys know we have a joint military NATO base there that has American troops? Do your homework on this stuff, people. It's a distraction. Once again, keep your eye on what is going on. Follow the money.
And again, to your point, we've been taught not to follow the money. That's just what we've been taught. Follow all the other things, right? Enlighten, how you doing? Says, I knew those Panthers were fraud. The original Black Panther Party was about protecting the foundation of Black Americans. Yes. And they did have some coalition, the Rainbow Coalition, but they were about protecting Black Americans. And that was originally what they set out to do. So absolutely. Obsidian, how you doing? Says, Dimitri K does no research. The Democrats shut down the government. Okay. Like, I don't even really want to argue with people no more. It ain't, you know, I'm just whatever. Moses, how you doing? Says Obama is darker than this guy. You crazy. Black money monopoly. What's going on? Says it's crazy watching the white man bash the white Karens as well. Never thought I would see the day. That's what I'm saying. So everybody getting it. The white women thought they was the bee's knees, right? And then pow, it's like, why? And everybody's just shocked. I bet you, you know, because her and her wife, they was walking tall and talking tough, right? They talking back to the, you big boy, go get you some lunch, you know? And it's like, because see, they used to doing that back, but that right there rearranged, they understand it. They was used to walking around and messing with everybody, but then, you know, when you catch one to the dome, that'll rearrange your understanding of life completely, right? So yeah. Let's see. Let's skipping down. I wish I could get to everybody, but I can't. Gregory, how you doing? Says the Trump's 350 million ballroom is his way of hinting that he doesn't plan to leave the White House ever. Yeah, now he can't run again, but you know, I keep seeing all these conspiracies, all his kids, you know, Vance and all. I don't think Trump wants Vance to be president at all, because he was asked about it once. Well, what do you think, Vance? He says, well, we haven't gotten that far yet. So it's like, if he was thinking about it, I think he probably would have said, oh, yeah. But he's like, we ain't got that far yet. Not easily fooled. How you doing? Says, that's not going to happen. It's going to take something major to get these fools off the internet. Yeah, they might just cut it off. Joanna, how you doing? Says, he's Jamaican, Panamanian, white, and everything else but Black American. Okay. Like I said, I could dig it. It makes sense. Brother Don, did I say hi to you? If not, hello. He says Trump Nobel Peace Prize was DEI. Right, because I guess the president of Venezuela, the acting president of Venezuela, she gave it to him. I'm like, aren't you embarrassed? And he took it. But the Nobel Peace Prize committee was like, he still doesn't have one, okay? He has one physically, but that doesn't mean he's earned one. Like, that doesn't mean anything. Sylvia, how you doing? Let's see. I built ships. Oh, Wagner. Emma, how you doing? Says, I knew that bright skin fake what Panther was talking foolish. Yeah, I kind of, you know, backed up off of it a little bit. Mr. 619, how you doing? Bougie Barbie, what's going on? He says,
go ahead. Sorry.
No, he says I did, but I can't find a way around it. I get mad to them. Okay, go ahead, Donovan.
Kinsui Kurokami, I'm sorry if I did your name wrong. He says Trump was a draft dodger 5 times, but he's going to make sure that you and your loved ones go. Yeah, he's going to bring back the draft if he goes after Greenland. Look, the president cannot institute the law of a draft. Again, why isn't it that we do not know how government works? The president does not control the draft. That is a congressional power. So that's not going to happen. Yes, he's a draft dodger, big deal. Bill Clinton, a Democrat, also was a draft dodger by being a Rhodes Scholar. So on, so on. So we can go. Obama was a draft dodger. So on, so forth. We can go on and on about it. It does not matter who is in the office. The question we need to focus on is which one of them did something specific for FBAs. Not one.
Yeah. And Sydney says he has all 3 branches, right? Yeah, but how did he get it? How did he get all 3 branches? Those people didn't just, and and Sydney, I would say I love Sydney. Sydney is a triple OG of the show. I'm talking about when it was just me, Donovan, Sydney, and 2 other people. Okay. So Sydney been here for a long time. So, I love him dearly. But yeah, how did he get it? Those people didn't just walk up in there and say, okay, move over, bacon, we here now, we running the show. Now they were voted in, or enough people didn't show up to those elections or whatever it is. Just like enough people won't show up to these upcoming elections. They won't, And as I said too about the great equalizer, you see a lot of these data centers are being put in white folks' neighborhoods too. You're seeing all these news reports of these nice, expensive, yes, expensive neighborhoods. They getting these data centers that's sucking up all the water and electricity and stuff. I saw one with this white woman couldn't even hardly draw no water out of her sink. And she says when they put that data center in our neighborhood, it messed up the water supply. Those data centers are what holds all the chat GPTs and the Groks. Every time you say Grok, what does that mean? That's what that means. They put those data centers. A lot of them belong to Elon Musk and a whole host of other people, and they don't care about people. And they didn't care that was in a nice neighborhood where predominantly white folks live, right? So, yeah, but how did they get there, Sydney? People, people don't care about the state and local elections like they do the federal. So, yeah, he has all three, but will this midterms, will people show up and say, hey, let's balance it out a little bit? I don't know. Somebody.
See, I'm gonna have to disagree. I'm gonna have to disagree with people who think that because he's got all three, you could be ineffective. Didn't your favorite turtle, Mitch McConnell, how did he effectively block Obama after 2 years? Once he lost the House, he effectively blocked Obama on every little bit by using every trick in the book. Ask yourself, if one man leading the Senate could do that, why aren't the Democrats doing it? They could use the exact same playbook. It ain't like the rules were taken out. Those rules are still in the book. But remember when they were going to do something for black people, what did they say? Oh, the parliamentarian. The parliamentarian is just a referee. The parliamentarian has no power. Parliamentarian is a person you go to and say, can we do this in the aspect of, it's like having a lawyer at a city council meeting. You ask the lawyer for clarification. The parliamentarian says, yes, you can do this, this, and this. But what did they tell specific black people when it came down to, let's say, a good example like reparations or something? Remember that a few years ago? Biden said, oh, well, we can't do anything because of the parliamentarian. The parliamentarian. Are we serious? But ask yourself, how did Mitch McConnell obstruct for 6 years Obama's agenda? So don't tell me it can't be done.
Because they all in the same gang. They all have the same bottom line, and that's the shmoney. It's the money. That's what they care about. It sounds good. It's theater, is what it is. It's theater. Oh, make them think that we're fighting. Oh, make them think that it's theater. Just like when you go to court and your lawyers, they duking it out. You seem like they hate each other, and then they say, okay, well, while they take this inmate back to the back or during recess, we're going to go to the bar together. Like, wait a minute. I thought you hated him. Nah, that's my homie. We golf every weekend. We just up here trying to, send you to prison or not send you to prison. Loonies, how you doing? So blacks vote for Trump instead of working to get rid of the corporate Democrats. No, Black MAGA seems to be able to explain their strategy. I agree 100% with what is said about the uselessness. I don't know if that's a strategy. And all black people that voted for so all the black people that voted for Trump are not MAGA, right? Just like a lot of people that voted for Biden were not vote blue no matter who. Some people had their own reasons for doing it or whatever the case is, but I think a lot of black people, whether they voted for Trump or didn't vote for Kamala, because there's couch and other things, they were just like sick of the benign neglect. You're not going to keep on telling us what you're not going to do for us when we see you doing for everybody else. That was the strategy. It was to send a message. Because at what point do you allow people to keep kicking your drawers up your behind and then you finally say, okay, that's enough? You know what I mean? So that was the strategy. Like, quit, you stop playing with us. That was the strategy. And it looks like that they're going to keep on trying to play with us and they're going to keep on learning, right? Because whether Trump is in office or wasn't in office, if Kamala went with the office, Trump is in office, how was life going to be different for Black Americans if Kamala was in office? It was going to be worse. Because Kamala was full speed ahead with the illegal immigration. She was unapologetic about it altogether, right? So, yeah. They just had different routes of getting to the same destination. So let's see. Kimmy says the systems are gearing up for digital ID. They already transition us on a military accounts. Yeah, it's a lot going on. A lot of people aren't paying attention because we fighting over stuff, that may or may not have nothing to do with us. But when the change happens, people say, it's like when you drive in the car as a passenger and you're on your phone And you scrolling. Then one day you're not on your phone as a pastor. You say, when did they build that? When did that get there? It's like, it's been there for like a year. I just noticed. So that's kind of the same thing. We're so distracted. And when they do all these changes and stuff, because people don't show up to vote on state and local elections and all this other stuff, then we find out about something happening. Like, when did that happen? Oh, that's been a thing. So yeah, Bernie says so far, President Donald Trump is the best president so far. Samuel, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. And again, I'd like to say hello to everybody. Tracy, where you been? He says he's not one of us. He's a joke. Where have you been? Where have you been? Dorothy, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Let's see. Oh my God, I'm not going to be able to get to everybody. I so apologize. Cindy says history repeats itself. The 50s and 60s all over again. Yeah. So when are we going to learn from history? The Nation of Islam, they say study history. We don't study history. We just listen to what people say and say, okay, well, that sounds good to me. Right? I know the ballroom is not taxpayer funded. You know, it's from donors, so they say, you know, whatever the case is, but all the things he could be doing, he building a funky ballroom with all that gaudy ass gold he got going on up in the White. All the things he could be doing, a ballroom, man. Ain't you supposed to be busy working?
Dimitri, don't you have those gold sneakers Trump was selling when he left out?
I wish I would spend money on them, okay? Trump don't need no money from me at all, and not them ugly, god-awful gold sneakers. 3-in-1 lawn care. How you doing? Says, why can't you keep your youth from killing one another? Why you can't keep your police from killing us? Why you can't keep your youth from killing one another? Why you can't keep your youth from taking y'all out in the middle of y'all in the sleep because y'all cut off the internet? Well, there's a lot of things y'all can't keep y'all youth from doing. So why you worry about what our youth are doing? In fact, our youth are doing a lot of things they're doing due to the things that your ancestors put into motion. So again, y'all need to mind y'all business because y'all got a lot of things going on. Some of y'all ain't gonna wake up in the morning because, again, like I said, some of your kids is disgruntled that you made them go to bed early. Some of your kids, God, I hate to say this, but they're going to go out in the public and do some things they should not be doing to people who do not deserve it. But you worry about what our youth are doing to each other. Worry about what's in your wallet. That's what you should be doing. So let's see here. I just see some comments on here, just like these people. Is it dope or dog food? Herbert says Trump is doing his job. Obama deported more people than them. Yeah, but nobody was really mad about that. Cindy says, speaking of the draft, a lot of people wouldn't qualify for the draft. Donovan, am I lying? They can't even do 5 push-ups.
You ain't lying, brother. You ain't lying.
Hey, Dusty Hotel, how you doing? Yep, there you go. Move over, Baker. There's something leaner. That's all. That's an old commercial, right? Dorothy says Trump not trying to stay in office, and we always pay tariffs. This is the first time we had another to pay American tariffs. Yeah, that's a whole different conversation right there. That tariff situation is effing up the rotation for a lot of people. Bakari says the Democrats aren't allowing Trump overtime and no tax on tips to go through. They plan, y'all. Yeah, I heard about that too. Divine next, I hope I said the right. Says black pastors led their congregation to vote blue no matter who. They did, and there's some that are, you know, MAGA or, you know, Trump or whatever. C-Mac, how you doing? Says facts about the data centers. Our electricity is, it says, is in Maryland, I think it says going up, and future blackouts will be due to data centers. Everybody's getting it.
Wait. Wasn't that a scene in The Matrix? Remember when that's how they powered the cities, was using people's body energy and stuff like that? So everybody, it's like the Matrix is becoming real, y'all. The Matrix is coming real. These computers are coming online. The Terminator is becoming real. All of this stuff is starting to happen. Yes,
indeed. Devin, how you doing? Yeah. With the data centers, like I said, everybody could get it. But when they was putting those landfills or, you know, in black neighborhoods or continuing on with those trash dumps and stuff, even though I know there's one not near me, but, you know, somewhere in Houston where they said they were going to close it, but they said, psych, we're going to keep it open. And it's, you know, they got cancer clusters in black communities. And now that these data centers are going up everywhere because and this is the cold part. cold part is they probably would have put them in the black neighborhoods, but they didn't put all the other foolishness in the black neighborhoods. There ain't no room for them. So now they like, okay, white America, y'all got those wide open fields and spaces. We gonna put one there. As a matter of fact, we gonna put two there, right? But nobody was crying and mad when they was doing it to black folks. Black folks talk about cancer clusters all the time. In North Carolina, they have a pig farm. I forget where in North Carolina, but it's a pig farm. And the water, you know, what pigs do, the excrement and all that, instead of like disposing it the right way, they use sprinklers to spray it all to fertilize. And unfortunately, that nasty, toxic water goes into the community, black community, and many of those people have died of cancer, and nobody cares about that. But now y'all getting data centers. The great equalizer. Donovan, was you gonna say something?
If you don't vote for me, you're not black.
Yes, I wasn't black. No problem, Lunice. It's all love. It's all love. No, Kia. He says, it's actually World War III kicking off like a slow cooker. I can dig it. I see it. I see it. I think.
Look, I'm going to say this. Whenever I hear all this fear mongering around black people, oh, this is going to happen, that's going to happen. My question is, are you ready? If World War III kicks off right now, are you ready? Because if you're a Democrat, Democrats tell you, don't arm yourself. Democrats say weapons are the problem. Are you ready? If World War III kicked off right now, Red Dawn actually happened, because I'm ready. I'm going up to the mountains, doing what I got to do. Are you ready? Because the Democrat policy is disarm yourself, gay love, LGBTQ, whatever, no self-reliance. Are you ready? Do you guys realize a lot of Democratic voters are so damn dependent on the government, they freaked out because they were cutting off the damn food stamps, and you worried about if World War III going to be here. Come on now. Stop it.
Yeah, as I said the other day on the show, I said most of us don't even exercise, go to the gym, let alone going out there and being ready for World War III. You know, can you run? Can you jump? Can you hide up in the in the swamp, in the wherever it is for? You know what I'm saying? I know that sounds funny, but I don't know. We might get to that point, and like I said, most of us don't need. I'll say us. I mean y'all, because I go to the gym. Not y'all, them over there. Do we? Most of us don't even work out or none of that stuff. We ready. We get ready for the war. Okay. Sydney says, bro, you going to the mountain, and I'm going with him. I know how to survive in the mountain. I'm a mountain climber. I ain't did it in a minute, but best believe I could. Diane, how you doing? Says, we as FBA B1 need to call out this Black Panther Latino imposter. It sounds like a lot of people already are, and something tells me he'll go away. You know what I mean? And go do the free breakfast program and stuff that he's been doing. It sounds like he's been involved in that. But yeah, I think he'll go away. Free. He says most of our people out of shape. That's what I'm saying. I'm not trying to be mean, but you know, we're talking about, oh, they better not. Man, you just lost. I was out of breath just saying that. Let alone going out there and fighting the war. I'm telling you, when I be at the gym, I sprint 20 minutes on and off, sprint really fast as I can. I still got it. I mean, not no Olympian, but I tell you what, I'm gonna be running like Tina Turner, Angela. What's her name? Tina, and What's Love Got to Do It? And when she was running at the end of that movie across the freeway.
You can't leave me, Demetri. I'm up here. See, you can't leave me.
So anyway, listen. Yeah, I be sprinting. Shoot, I don't like to go to the gym and be on a treadmill. Like I get bored, so I have to kind of kick it up. But yeah, I be sprinting. I sure do. Got to.
You know, and let's be real. A lot of our people are city people, you know, city girls and all this other stuff. You get a bug, y'all won't know what to do. When it comes down to it, y'all won't know what to do. You got your pew, this, you don't even know how to deal with it. If the thing got clogged up. I mean, come on. If you're going to be talking all this stuff, are you ready? Demetri could tell you, I'm ready. If everything goes down, Donovan's ready.
The city girls ain't ready, and the city boys ain't either.
Right. That's what I said. Most of us are city people. We ain't ready.
Right. So anyway, I love and appreciate every last one of y'all. I really wish I could have gotten to everybody's comments. Maybe one day I will. But it's a good thing that I'm not able to beat the comment section. It sounds like more and more people are showing up to have the conversation. But I'm going to try my best. Tomorrow we'll be back here at 5 p.m. I'm not sure if we'll do we usually do like a podcast. We're still trying to get in the swing of things. But not this Monday, but the next Monday, I'm going to be interviewing a gentleman who is going to be challenging Isaac Bryan there in Los Angeles, Assemblyman Isaac Bryan, who's the infamously shown on camera blocking reparations there in California. So he's got an opponent we're going to interview and see what his platform is and, how we can get behind him and all of that. So anyway, Cindy says he got to go shovel. Well, you be careful out there. Love and appreciate every last one of y'all. We will see y'all tomorrow, 5 p.m. Central Time. And again, you can join me at the African Diaspora News Channel, 11 a.m. Tuesday through Thursday. Peace.